the Stolen Stool. It was just before sunrise when the loud drumbeat echoed through the quiet village of Betwe. Boo! 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 The villagers rushed out of their huts, sleepy eyes wide open. Something was wrong, very wrong. Royal Stool was missing. This stool wasn't just any stool, it was the Dufia stool, the sacred symbol of power, unity, and protection for the people of Betwe. It was carved from ancient Iroko wood and passed down through generations. Without it, the chief could not sit in council. Without it, the village had no soul. Old women wailed. Men clenched their fists. Children stood frozen, sensing danger even if they didn't fully understand. The priest of the shrine, Togbe Nunya, emerged in his red cloth and beads, eyes blazing with fire. "This is not just theft," he cried. "This is a curse waiting to happen." The Tufia chief Adonu stood bareheaded before the crowd. His voice was firm but filled with pain. "Whoever has taken the stool has taken our peace. Until it returns, no one in this village will sleep with joy." In the middle of the crowd stood Kofi, a 12-year-old boy with curious eyes and restless spirits. He watched silently, but his mind raced. Why would someone steal the sacred stool? And who could be brave or foolish enough to do it? That night, the moon refused to shine. Wells hooted from the tall baobab trees, and the wind whispered through the thatched roofs. Kofi couldn't sleep. His grandmother had told him that sacred stools carry spirits. If the spirit feels insulted, she had said, misfortune will follow. Kofi's best friend, Efosena, had a different theory. Maybe it was someone from another village who hate us. He whispered, like the people from Agotime. They were jealous when we won the dance festival last year. No, Kofi shook his head. This is not about jealousy. This is about something deeper. I can feel it in my bones. Early the next morning, the elders held a meeting under the ancient mango tree. Goat bleats and roasted cows echoed in the background. One elder, Kofi's uncle, spoke. "Let us consult the gods. Let the oracle speak." Togbe Nunya agreed. He brought out a calabash filled with cowries, kola nuts, and herbs. He threw the items to the ground and closed his eyes. The villagers leaned in. The air was thick with silence. After a long moment, Togbe's eyes opened slowly. His voice dropped low and heavy. "The thief is among us. Someone from this very village has betrayed their ancestors." Gasps rose, faces turned left and right. Suspicions danced in every eye. No one spoke. No one wanted to accuse, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Kofi's mind was already spinning. If the thief was someone from Betwe, then he had to act. He couldn't just wait and watch his people fall apart. That evening, Kofi sneaked out with a torch and a small bag of roasted maize. He decided to follow the old path towards the sacred grove. Maybe the stool had been hidden there. He remembered his grandfather says, When something sacred is missing, it returns to the spirit's path. As he walked through the thick bush, the sounds of drums faded behind him. Crickets sang, leaves rustled. Then he heard something strange, a soft cry, like someone weeping. Kofi froze. His heart beat fast. He crept closer, holding his thoughts tight. Behind a giant silk curtain tray, he saw a small figure crouched in the dark. It was someone wearing a wrapped cloth, trembling. Who is there? Kofi asked, his voice shaking. The figure turned slowly. It was Yaovi, a quiet young man from the edge of the village. He was crying. Yaovi, Kofi whispered, what are you doing here? Yaovi looked down. I didn't mean it. He said, I just wanted them to respect me. Kofi stepped closer. What do you mean? Are you the one who took the stool? Yaovi nodded slowly, tears falling into the dry leaves. I was tired of being treated like I'm nothing, Yaovi said. I thought maybe if I had the stool, even just for a while, the spirits would help me. Maybe people would listen. Kofi's anger melted into confusion. But that stool belongs to all of us. It's not just a chair, it's our history. Yavi pointed to the bundles behind the tray. Kofi ran over and opened it. There it was, the royal stool, glowing in the moonlight, untouched but full of power. We have to take it back, Kofi said. If the spirits find it missing for too long, they might curse the whole village. Kofi looked afraid. Yaovi also looked afraid. Will they punish me? Said by Yaovi. Kofi thought for a moment. Let the elders decide. But you must come with me. I have to tell the truth. So the two boys carried the stool carefully between them, walking silently through the night. The path felt shorter now, as if the forest itself wanted peace. As the first light of dawn touched the roofs of Betwe, the two boys arrived at the edge of the village. Kofi called out to the guards, open the gate, the stool is here. His voice was tired, full of hope. The village guard ran forward, staring at what they saw. One of them blew the boabeton, tone of life, a call only used in great emergencies and victories. Within minutes, villagers gathered at the square again. When the Dufia Chief Adonu appeared, silence wept over the crowd. Kofi and Yao stood before him, bowing low. The stool lay at their feet, wrapped carefully in white cloth. Yaovi stepped forward, his voice trembling. I took the stool, wanted to feel powerful, but I have brought it back. I am sorry. Its words hung in the air like smoke. Just an angry murmurs broke out. Some elders shook their heads. One woman shouted, "This boy must be banished." Another said, "He has cursed us all." But Chief Adonu raised his hand slowly. "Let the stool be lifted," he commanded. 4 elders came and gently uncovered it. As the cloth dropped, a bright ray of sunlight fell on the stool. It was unharmed. Togbenunya stepped forward, chanting softly. He sprinkled white clay and herbs around the stool and bowed deeply. The ancestors have not turned their past. They have seen the truth. He turned to Yaovi. "You have done wrong, but you returned the stool yourself. That is a heavy thing to do. The gods see your hearts." The crowd grew quietly. Chief Adonu looked into Yaovi's eye. He wanted respect, and you thought power came from stealing, but true power comes from truth, from service, and from owning your mistakes. He paused, then turned to the villagers. "Let us decide, not with anger, but with wisdom. What do the people say?" An old woman stepped forward, Mama Ajia, the oldest in the village. She leaned on her stick and said, "He is young. He made a mistake, but he came back. Let him learn. Let us forgive, so our hearts will be clean." One by one, heads began to nod slowly. The murmurs of anger turned into a murmurs of agreement. Even those who were still angry could feel the truth in Mama Joa's word. The chief raised his hand again. "Yaovi will not be punished by banishment, but he must serve the elders for 40 days. He must sweep the shrine, fetch water for the priest, and learn from the stories of the ancestors." Yaovi nodded, tears rolling down his cheeks. "Thank you, Chief. Thank you, elders. I will not forget." The stool was lifted gently and placed back in the royal heart, where the sun fell directly through the thatched roof, blessing it with light once again. Drums began to beat slowly. Do, 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 a soft rhymes of healing. Women danced, children clapped. Peace had returned, and the stool had come back. That evening, Kofi sat beside his grandmother, who stirred a pot of groundnut soup. "You did well, my child," she said. "You follow your heart, and it led you to truth." But why did Yaovi think the stool would help him gain respect? Kofi asked. His grandmother smiled. "Because many people do not know that respect is not taken, it is earned. Power is not in a stool. Power is in the heart of the one who serves others." From that day on, Kofi watched the village differently. He saw how the elders listened before speaking, how the women shared food with the hungry, how the youth bowed before the old, not in fear, but in honor. And he watched Yaovi sweeping the shrine, carrying heavy pots, always quiet, always focused. Yaovi had changed. The mistake had made him wiser. On the 40th day, the people gathered once again. Chief Adonu called Yaovi forward. You have learned well. Now, take this cloth, he said, handing him a white scarf. Wear it as a sign of your new beginning. The villagers clapped, not loud or wide, but gently, with respect. Yaovi bowed, not from shame, but from understanding. Later that night, as the moon climbed high, Kofi lay under the stars, thinking about everything: the stool, the forest, the fear, the truth, and the healing. He closed his eyes and whispered, the stool was stolen, yes, but what was found was even greater than a stool. We found forgiveness. As the seasons passed in Petue, peace and unity grew stronger than before. The sacred stool sat quietly in the royal heart, untouched, but always watched with love and respect. Yaovi became a new person, humble, wise, and trusted. Kofi, now unknown as the boy who followed the truth, never forget what happened. The village learned that even in times of darkness, light will return if hearts were brave and honored. Moral lessons. True power comes from service, not pride. Respect is not something you steal or demand. It is earned through humility and hard work. Mistakes can lead to wisdom if we admit them and make things right. Yaovi decisions to return the stool help serve the village and also help him grow. Forgiveness builds stronger community. When Petra chose for forgiveness, they healed together and became even more united. Every child can make a difference. Kofi didn't wait for the adults. He followed his heart and helped bring the truth to light. The symbols of culture are sacred and must be respected. The royal stool was not just an object, it carried the soul and unity of the people. Leadership means wisdom, patience, and listening. Chief Adonu showed truth leadership by choosing justice, not anger. Unity and peace are more powerful than fear and blame. The villagers came together in the end, not through punishment, but through understanding.